Hello students, welcome to session 5, Conveying Evidence, Finding Compelling Evidence to Support Your Claim. Okay, so by now you should have a one-sentence claim that identifies a personality trait of your character and 2 to 3 reasons supporting your opinion. So today we're going to practice proving ourselves right even more. Good middle school literary essayists don't just give reasons, they also convey evidence from the story to make their reasons even more believable. Okay, let's take a look at our chart. Here's our chart, how to write a middle school literary essay about character. So we've done all these bullet points so far, except for the new one. I've added the orange one. So let's take a look at that one. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to search for the most compelling evidence that can support the claim, then add it like this, using quotes, summaries, paraphrases. So this is what we're going to focus on today. All right? So like I said, by now you should have your claim that gives a personality trait of your character along with 2 to 3 reasons supporting your claim. So here's mine. The girl shows determination to accomplish her goal because she tries again and she sees the positives in the things she made. Now, my 2 reasons are she tries again and she sees the positives in the things she's made. Okay, but my job as an essayist is to find compelling or beyond a shadow of a doubt evidence to convince my reader that my ideas are the only right ideas about my character. And I do that by looking back in the text to find evidence. Remember though, I can quote, summarize, or paraphrase the evidence I find. So let's take a look. Let's start with she tries again. So I'm going to start with a quote. So here's a quote from the story. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. It's all wrong. The girl tosses it aside and gives it another go. Notice I'm using ellipses in this quote to redact some of the information. This quote is actually from 3 different paragraphs, but I don't want all of that information. I want to make sure that I'm only using the information that supports my idea that she tries again. So I left out some of the information to make my point, and that's okay because we can use ellipses to show that information is missing. Now instead of quoting, I might want to summarize. So here's a summary I could use. It's about the same part of the story, but instead of quoting, I say, after the girl makes the first thing, she notices that it's not right, so she tosses it aside to try it again. Notice it's about the same thing, but this time I summarized it and put it in my own words. The third way of doing it is to paraphrase. Here's my paraphrase example. The thing does not look right. It does not feel right. She is surprised that it didn't come out right. It wasn't even close to right. It is all wrong. The girl puts it aside and tries again. Notice I'm using the same technique as the author here, but I'm putting it in different words. That's what paraphrasing is. So this is 3 different ways of talking about the same part of the story. I just get to choose which way I think is the most compelling. But I'm starting to wonder, which way would be the most compelling? Which way would convince my reader that the girl really did try again and again instead of giving up? I wonder if maybe I could combine techniques. Maybe I could quote and summarize about her trying again. Maybe I could do something like this. After the girl makes the first thing, she noticed that it's not right. She tosses it aside and gives it another go. You'll notice that I'm combining a summary with the quote. Maybe I could do that. I wonder if that would be the most compelling way to get my reader to be convinced that I'm right and I'm the only right opinion. Okay, but remember, you can't just explain one of your reasons. You have to explain all of your reasons. So let's look at another one. Wait a minute. There's a part of the story I could use to prove I know what I'm talking about this one again. Oh my goodness, she tries again on another part? Oh look, here's the quote. It says the girl saws and glues and adjusts. She stands and examines and stares. She twists and tweaks and fastens, but none of them are magnificent. Notice again, I used the ellipses to redact the information because that paragraph was really long, but I think this quote also proves that she tries again and again because she tried all these different methods to make it right. Oof, there's a lot in this story to prove her determination, to prove that she tries again and again. But just like I said, now that I have a claim, it's important to test all of my reasons in the claim against the text, to look through the glasses, the lens of the claim, to summarize, storytell, quote the text, to convey evidence that my claim is correct in all parts of my claim, not just one of my reasons, but all of my reasons. So let's take a look at some compelling evidence for the second reason. She sees the positives. Here's a quote example. It says, then she notices something surprising. There are some parts of the wrong things that are really quite right. The bolts on one, the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio on the next. There are all sorts of parts that she likes. Now remember, this is the part of the story right after she quit, but she took a walk and then came back to notice that some of the things she made actually had right pieces. So this is a great example of how she sees positives. Now maybe I want to summarize, maybe I want to paraphrase, but I can make that decision later. Okay? All right, so now it's your turn. Now you're going to do the same thing with your chosen story. You're going to write your entire thesis statement at the top of a clean page in your writing notebook. Then I want you to list quotes, summaries, or paraphrases for each reason you came up with. Maybe you came up with 2 reasons, maybe you came up with 3 reasons, but for all your reasons, you need to come up with quotes, summaries, and paraphrases. At least 2 to 3 examples for each reason. Okay, but don't forget, you're searching for the most compelling evidence that can support this claim. Then you're going to add it to your list by using quotes, summaries, or paraphrases. Keep in mind, it needs to be the most compelling evidence. You want to choose evidence that actually supports your ideas. Don't put extra stuff in there, only ideas that will support and convince your reader that you know what you're talking about. All right, get to work, off you go.